Hey everybody, Mike Tabbert here from the Level Up Golf Academy, where we help golfers level up for pure power precise performance. Today's video is all about the short game and how we are going to assess our situation based on the lie as well as your carry to roll ratio and understanding the situation you're in and choosing the proper club and technique to hit the shot you need. First, we want to learn what is basically a carry to roll ratio. A carry to roll ratio is exactly the way it sounds. We are breaking the shot up into two segments: the carry distance and how far the ball will fly from your hitting area to onto the green, and then we have the roll and rolling hopefully to the hole. So we need to determine two zones. One we call our landing zone, and then we have the end zone. A landing zone is where the golf ball is going to land on the green. And then the end zone is for us to have an acceptable area around the hole to give us a great opportunity to get up and down. So when we first assess our shot, we need to assess kind of the carry to roll ratio. So as you look behind me, we have an orange circle out on the green. This is representing a landing zone. Okay, when I hit a shot from such as right here, I want to get it on the green and start to get the ball to roll to the hole as quickly as I can. Usually this will allow us to get into a chipping technique where we are optimizing the amount of time on the ground rolling like a putt and minimizing risk by not having to make a big swing and hit it across the green. So we want to pick a landing zone closer to us. What I like to tell a lot of my students is this is an analogy just like if I was to throw a golf ball into that circle, how likely would you feel or how confident would you feel that you could hit that circle? And if I gave you $100 for throwing a golf ball into that circle, would you take that bet? A lot of people feel pretty confident throwing a ball to a circle that is very close to us like I have here. But if I put that circle another 20 to 30 feet across the green, your odds of hitting it go way down. So again, if you think about it in the real simple context like that, we want to get the ball on the green as quick as we can because we have a higher likelihood of hitting our landing zone. So the next thing is once we've now established where we want the ball to land, we need to figure out how far it needs to roll. Whenever the ball is going to roll farther than it is going to be in the air carrying, usually you're going to be looking to hit more of a chipping shot. Okay, if you have one that you're going to fly much farther and then the ball has to stop very quickly, we call that a pitch shot and we're looking to go very high. So once I see kind of from our position where I'm standing and I know where the landing zone is here with the orange circle and where the flag is, I'm starting to get a visualization of my trajectory. So by just throwing the golf ball here, I'm trying to see at what height would I feel comfortable being able to land it in the zone. If I look at that, I would try to associate kind of the height of the flight, and then once it would land, I need the momentum to carry it the rest of the way. So is that flying at like my knee height? Is it more at my waist height? Or is it above my head even, right? So that would tell me a low, medium, high trajectory, and then I start to then get a picture of which is probably right for the situation. So I'm gonna go really low. I'm gonna go around my knee height, and this would be like a low lofted club or a scenario that likely the ball comes out kind of low. Maybe it's on a bad slope or a bad lie. So we're gonna go pretty low and we're gonna try to land it in that hoop. Pretty close. Rolling a little bit past the hole, leaving myself probably about an 8 to 10 footer. So not bad, but definitely a little bit too much momentum. And frankly, I missed the hoop even on the short side. So probably a lower trajectory than we need. So we need to start moving up. So if I went much higher and I went maybe at my head height, we're gonna see what happens. If I throw it a bit at my head height, land it in there, we come out much lower, right? Or much less roll. So once we start to see it trickle out, I'm now about 8 to 10 feet short. So I know I'm somewhere between my knees and above my head. So I gotta be somewhere around maybe my chest height. So we're going to picture a shot around my chest height flying out onto the green. Lands into the hoop, rolling out. And frankly, we're stopping only about 6 inches from the hole. So that was the perfect trajectory for me to land it in my landing zone and to finish right next to the hole in my end zone. So when I'm choosing a shot, I'm trying to picture what club am I going to use to hit it that height, right? What ball position, what variation of my lie is going to allow that to happen? So now we start to at least get a picture and a visualization of how we want to hit it, and then it comes down to how we actually use the proper technique and ball position to make that happen. So when we walk up here, we're going to talk about the lies. So come on up here closer. We have 3 distinct positions here that we're talking about, whether it's a high position, a low position, or a neutral position. So my first one here, I'm going to grab my wedge here. This is my 50 degree I have in my hand. So this would be what I call a neutral or medium lie. I got a little bit of room behind the ball. There's not a ton of grass impeding upon my contact to the golf ball, and I think I could get a pretty decent trajectory off of this shot. When I come up to this one, this would be more of a fluffy lie. I think it's more fluffy because this ball's sitting on top of the grass and I can see a little bit more fluff underneath it. So frankly, that ball should come out much higher and reduce the amount of roll. And as I come up to my last one, this one is a more buried or low position in the rough. So I have a lot of grass impeding upon my contact, and the ball frankly will come out a lot lower due to the fact that it's going to come out much softer and a lot lower due to the fact I'm going to have to get steeper to get a nice descending hit back of the golf ball. So when I hit here, we're going to hit all 3 of these and you can kind of see the differences in the trajectory. This is my gap wedge. We're in a scenario where I think that the gap wedge would work out pretty well to actually land it in the orange landing zone and finish it by the hole if I hit a neutral shot. So this is my neutral position. We're going to make a couple rehearsals. Again, a nice simple chipping motion. So the ball's on the back of my stance, weight is on my lead side, and I'm going to use very little wrist to be able to hit this shot. Came out pretty clean. Frankly, it was just a smidgen long of my spot, so it went a little bit long of my actual intended distance. So overall, not a bad chip, but missed my target, so I accept my miss. Okay, now I have a fluffy lie. Let me try to get this even fluffier here. So I think the ball rolled down on me. So I have a nice fluffy position. This can every once in a while happen, but this is something you still have to pay attention to. It's not just as easy as a neutral one, in my opinion. You have to be cautious not to go underneath the ball or hit it up on the top of the club face. So when I'm hitting here, I'm going to come in much more shallow, just sweeping along the top blades of grass. I'm not looking to make a good thump. I'm just brushing the grass, making sure that I get it still in my sweet spot, not missing on the high or bottom of my club. You can see that ball came out a little softer, a lot higher at first, better launch angle on it, and then it stopped much quicker. So again, that one is because of the lie simply alone. Everything else was pretty much the same. And now I'm coming in with a ball position that is way down and buried. So I need to get extra steep to give me an extra thump of the ground to get underneath it. So when I do this, I might lean some extra weight into my left side. I might move the ball position further back in my stance, both of which will allow me to deliver the club steeper without having to change my technique. So if just those couple of variations alone, we should see this ball come out much lower and rolling. So it's really shooting with some speed. That would have went well by. So I would have had to make some more adjustments to be able to cater to this poor lie. So I might go to a higher lofted wedge. I might manipulate with the face to lay it a little bit more open. Some different changes we might make just to adjust for these lies, right? So when we again are getting up to the shot, we need to pick out our landing zone, make it easy, get it on the green quick, and we need to then assess, is it rolling more or is it going to need to fly more to that landing zone based on how far it can roll afterwards? Once I know whether I'm more of a chipping shot or a pitch shot, we now start to again assess the lie and start to adjust before we pick our club. The last thing we want to do is choose our club, because if we again choose our club, we are now basing on what club I'm using rather than just choosing the right tool for the right job. So we're going to come over here to actually a position where now we are looking to hit a pitch shot. So we're going to come on over, and now we've got a green landing zone out here. And the distance from where I'm hitting to the landing zone is much farther than the distance from me to the hole. And when you're practicing this, you can even pace it off. So I'm going to pace it off just so you guys can see this. I'm going to pace to my landing zone and how much I have left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm going to be carrying the ball 13 and only rolling 9. So I'm definitely in a scenario where I should be looking to get the ball higher in the air. So I should be looking to possibly pitch this. So a pitch shot is different than a chip, where we would want to put the ball more up in my stance. We're going to put the ball more towards my lead instep. We're going to, again, look for a nice high trajectory. So once I see I'm coming from the rough, I have very little green to work with, I should be looking to hit this ball nice and high and minimize the rollout. I don't want to run the risk of going over the back of this green, which then runs down all the way to the middle of the fairways, which could be very penalizing. So I'm going to put the ball to the front of my stance. I'm going to get my hands to drop a little bit, which allows me to be more sweeping to get underneath this golf ball. And I'm looking for, again, a nice sweeping shot, getting the loft to stay up to the sky. So you can see the club is pointing up. And I have to hit this high to make this shot happen. So make sure I get underneath it and keep that club pointing to the sky. Just a smidge off to the right, landed right next to it, and frankly, pretty close to my end zone, pretty close to the hole. Good opportunity to get up and down. See if we can do that one more time. Again, front of the stance, getting my body down a little lower to get my hands to be low to allow for a nice sweeping attack while still delivering the club under the ball. Oop, got a little aggressive with that one. Hit that one much farther than I wanted to, but frankly stopped very quick. So again, gives me some room for error by allowing myself to choose the right trajectory for the shot. If I came in low and I airmailed my landing zone at that height, I would be generally hitting this all the way across the green. So I have less room for error just because I chose the wrong trajectory for the shot. So I need to hit it high, I'm going to go very high. And when I need to go low, I'm going to go pretty low. There's really not much room for this in-between stuff. Make sure you pick an easy landing spot and you choose the correct height of the shot. Again, this one's supposed to be to the front, hit it high. Let's see if we can get another good one here. Oh, that one landed perfectly right in the circle. Rolling up there a little bit farther, about 3-4 feet away. So again, I hope you guys can now start to assess your lies better. You can start to picture the shot more clearly. We can know whether we need to get the ball on the green quickly and let it roll, or get the ball on the green quickly and make it stop. Either way, we want to reduce the risk of choosing that landing spot and make sure that we can get the ball in the end zone to score. So again, this is Mike from Level Up Golf Academy. Please like and subscribe this video and our channel, and we look forward to seeing you at any of our future videos to help you with your game.